My name is Dave Kellogg. I'm the coordinator of criminal justice here at Carl Sandburg College. Full-time, this is my 5th year, but I've been with the college a little over 10 years. Well, right around 10 years. I was a non-traditional student. I started off in Des Moines, where I'm from, at Des Moines Area Community College, and then transferred to Western Illinois University to get my bachelor's degree in law enforcement and justice administration. Was having so much fun, decided to stick around and go to grad school, and continued there at Western, and got my master's at Western in law enforcement justice administration. Criminal justice, I teach a host of classes. We have about 14 different courses within our curriculum, and I've taught most of those courses, everything from intro to probation and parole to criminology. I try to focus in on certain courses, so you'll see a lot of survey courses, introduction to corrections, probation and parole, intro to criminal justice, juvenile justice are kind of my keystone courses that I teach. I was given an opportunity the last 3 or 4 years. I've worked with Krista Creech and the kids on campus with 2 parts. The first part is kind of an in-class, they call it Get a Clue, which is like a junior investigation kind of class. And what's really great is you have different levels of kids. You have kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, so you get a real taste of different grade levels. And then the afternoons I do a sports camp with fishing. So we do fishing camp, and that's been a lot of fun. And we go out and here to Lake Story and catch a bunch of bluegill and get the kids excited. At no point in my life did I ever say, I'm going to start out being a college teacher or a college professor. Never. It was never on my track. I just kind of happened into it. And it's kind of a long story, but I'll give you a few minutes of it. Long and short is, I'm a high school dropout, believe it or not. I got my GED after I had been in the Army and started community college. And slowly but surely I decided that I wanted to be a police officer. So I went to school for criminal justice and then went on to Western. And somewhere in my educational experience, I realized education was the one thing that really changed the opportunities in my life. So when I got done with my master's degree, I was working for the Illinois Department of Corrections in Canton, Illinois, and I said I was at a point in my life where I could start giving back to the one thing that really changed my life the most, and that was education, especially in adult ed. So my beginnings in teaching started with the Bushnell campus, with the GED program there. And I started working with those students, and it really was a good fit. I started to realize that I liked teaching. It was a lot of fun. Some of the first courses I taught were GED courses. And then from there, I was picked up as an adjunct for criminal justice, started teaching with my degree, and it just kind of snowballed from there. Believe it or not, I love being around young people. It keeps me focused, and I think some of my peers would tell you that they're pretty critical of this generation. I think it's a generational difference. I see this millennium generation as being such a wonderful group of people. They have different work ethic, they have different outlook on life than I think even the Generation X or the baby boom generation does. But I think that's probably the most enjoyable part, is to see young people and to work with young people and mold them into young adults and be a part of that. So it's been a pretty good experience. I would say, some of my favorite classes, I think, I love teaching criminology, the idea of theory, and everyone has one. It's because it's open to debate and a lot of feedback back and forth, and a lot of questions and exploring different options. So I enjoy teaching that class. It's a 200-level course, so the students that are coming into the class typically have a pretty good background in criminal justice and understand some of the issues that are brought before them. I would say corrections. My background mainly is in corrections, and Intro to Corrections is a good course because we can cover so much about it. And I think that a lot of students don't have a real firm understanding of how the correctional field works. So the 2 classes, those are probably my favorite courses. I enjoy what I do. So when I walk in, and I think my students would tell you that It's never a boring lecture time. We always have a good time, and we talk about the issues, and I make them feel part of a group. And you've got some for 16 weeks that are there just for an elective that aren't criminal justice majors. But I also have a pretty good core group of kids that go through the AAS program and want their 2-year degree, and those kids I really grow that bond with over 2 years. So it's been kind of that's kind of a rewarding experience as well. So it's every day just dealing with the back and forth. I've got a lot of kids. I don't know if I have time for hobbies. Actually, I do. I'm somewhat of a gym rat. I spend a lot of time lifting weights, and I also live out at Lake Warren and do a lot of fishing. And believe it or not, I play in the sand. I make sand castles that are phenomenal. So that's a lot of it. It's kind of therapeutic for me. And then, of course, enjoying my kids and their hobbies. So that's about it. That's all I've got time for.